Thank you for joining me for another episode of Small Business Sales and Strategy. Today, we are talking about how emotions impact consumer behavior and how we can use this to close more sales. There is so much packed into this episode, and I cannot wait to share with you today. Are you an overwhelmed business owner who struggles to meet your sales goals, but you feel like you're working so hard? Hey, I'm Lindsay, a Jesus-following wife and mom of 4. I'm also an award-winning medical device sales rep turned sales and business strategist, and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the Small Business Sales and Strategy podcast. I'm here to help you develop the skills and strategies you need to sell your services and products with ease so that you can grow your business, serve your community well, and ultimately live the life you dream of. Grab your coffee and a notebook or your tennis shoes and take me on a walk. You're in the right place. Are you ready to dive in? Let's go. Hello, friend. Welcome back to the show. Today's topic is a juicy one. And there is so much to know about the psychology of sales and why people buy. It is absolutely fascinating to me, and I hope that you'll grab a pen and paper, take some notes, and nerd out with me today, because this one's a topic that we could talk about for hours and hours. One episode will definitely not do the psychology of buying and selling justice. So know that there are tons of books and tons of articles and resources out there if you want to dive in a little bit more. And I'll talk about more psychology on this podcast as we go along. But this is just one teeny tiny little slice of psychology heaven for you today. Today, we are diving into how emotions impact buying decisions. And as women, we are typically in tune with our emotions. We tend to rank higher in emotional intelligence in categories like empathy and other awareness than our male counterparts. We are more emotionally expressive, generally speaking. And I believe that our emotional awareness, this thing that you've probably been told at some point along the lines that was a bad thing or that it's not business-like, that actually gives us an advantage in sales. Being a woman and being an emotional being is our little not-so-secret superpower. First, we are going to talk at a very high level about how our brain works, and this is where I totally geek out. I love the science parts of sales almost as much as I love the relationships. Almost. I do love the people more, but the science stuff is so fun to learn and observe and put to use, and it's just absolutely fascinating to me. Second, we are going to talk about why this matters regarding your business and your sales, and how to use it in your sales process. And then, of course, I'm going to give you some action items for you this week, so let's get started. Did you know that 2 parts of our brain are at play in decision making and pretty much govern our entire lives? Yep, you heard that right. 2 parts of our brain are responsible for nearly 35,000 decisions that we make as adults every day. Those 2 parts are the emotional brain and the logical brain. Now, the emotional brain is referring to our limbic system, and our limbic system is responsible for motivation and emotion, and it plays a key role in the fight or flight response and feelings of fear and anger. Now, our logical brain, referring to the prefrontal lobe of the cerebral cortex, performs functions of logic, analysis, planning for the future, and self-control. So basically, those 2 parts of our brain are exact opposites. Emotion is nearly automatic, where logic requires effort. And here's a few more facts about emotion versus logic that I think are fascinating. Emotional reactions are 3,000 times faster than our rational or logical thought. Our emotional brain processes sensory input or information 5 times faster than our rational or logical brain. And emotions are subconscious, where logic requires conscious thought. So you're sitting there, Lindsay, why are you spewing all these limbic system and prefrontal cortex information at me? Well, Here's why. All decisions, including the decisions to buy, are informed by emotion. And that means that our emotions, our feelings, play a role in every single decision we make in a day. And on average, we make 35,000 decisions every single day as adults. But not all of those decisions are informed by logic. One Harvard professor named Gerald Zaltman says that upwards of 95% of our decisions are made with our emotional brain, and the rest are rational or logical decisions, meaning we are only using logic in our decision-making process 5% or less. And what's even more fascinating to me is that studies completed by neuroscientists have found that when someone has a brain injury in the area that generates emotions, so in that limbic system, amygdala area, they can become incapable of making decisions. Y'all, this is huge because it helps us realize that human beings are not logical. We're not as logical as we think we are. We are not thinking through things with our logical, rational brains as much as we are using emotion. We actually let our feelings dictate just about everything. So understanding that emotion plays the biggest role in decision making for us as human beings and as adults, we now know that that has significant implications for marketing, sales, and branding. And if you are only marketing or selling the features of your product or service, and you're not tapping into the emotional being that you're selling to, you will be grossly missing the mark. And the poor results that you're getting are likely because you're missing the element in decision-making process that makes us human, and that's emotion. We have to make them feel something about our product or service, and we want them to feel something positive about us as their new teammate or extension of their team too. It's not just about our product. They need to feel a positive emotion about us as well. Now, I want to be clear, we are not being manipulative or sneaky. There is nothing wrong with helping people achieve their desired state of emotion. You want your customers to be and feel happiness and peace and less stressed, right? Of course you do, because you're in a people-focused business, and no matter what your offering is, you want what's good for them. You know how I know that? Because you're listening to this podcast and you're learning how to sell with people at the center of what you're doing. The Bible says that we should not do anything out of selfish ambition, but that we should be looking out for each other and serving each other. That's in Philippians 2:3-4. I'm paraphrasing here, but if your heart and your head are in the right place with your business and selling your offer, and your goal is to serve others well, we are obligated to talk about our offering. We are obligated to educate others to make sure that they can make good decisions for themselves and their business. And we are obligated, and we have to discuss how they will feel now that they have the problem and how it will feel to have their problem solved. If our product or service solves a problem or problems for them, then we are serving them by selling to them. So I want to put this emotional buying theory to the test, and I want you to think about the last time that you bought something. What was actually being sold in the marketing or sales campaign that made you buy? Now, I'm not talking about the product itself. I'm talking about what were they actually selling. Go ahead and pause me if you need time to think about it, but I'm going to give you a little hint. It was emotion. They are marketing and selling how you will feel once you get and use what they are selling. Just a couple of days ago, I bought a couple of hair products off of a Facebook ad because my hair is fine and silky straight. It has zero curl, and it can often look flat to my head, especially in this South Texas humidity. Y'all, it's a real deal down here. It is so thick. And I want to feel good about my hair. I want to feel confident, and I want to feel put together when I do my hair and makeup. And their ad made me feel those things. So I purchased. My logical brain didn't even enter the conversation. They made me feel something, and I hit buy. Here are several more examples. What do luxury car brands sell? They don't actually sell you the car. They're targeting our feelings of self-worth, acceptance, and status in the world. How about our electronic devices? They're selling us on feeling connected to friends and family and a broader network of people. How about athletic brands like Nike and Under Armour? What are they selling? They want us to feel accomplished and proud and adventurous. How about perfume and makeup brands? They're selling confidence, attractiveness, maybe even feeling loved. A lawn service or a maid service would make me feel less overwhelmed at home and would relieve me in my overall mental load. Think about the services and the products that you've bought recently, besides the tangible thing that you actually get, like a clean house or the hair product that I just purchased. What are they actually selling you? And I want you to see where I'm going this. Do you see it? We pull the trigger on buying when it solves two things: our emotional problem and the actual problem. Emotions can have a huge impact and create great potential for buyers to receive messages in a way that drives them to action. And that's what we want potential buyers to do. We want them to take action. So first, we need them to feel something. So don't miss out on evoking emotion when creating your sales and marketing plans. So we talked about the science of how our brain works and how emotions then play a part of our decision-making and buying process. And now we're on to the action items for you for this week. I am challenging you to put this info to good use. In previous episodes, we've talked about what the problem is that you solve. And if you haven't already done this, I want you to really think about how your customers or potential customers are feeling because they have the problem. Because they have this problem and they are not using your service, how are they feeling without your service or without your product? And then determine what you want your customers to feel when they buy from you. And then I want you to go market and I want you to go sell that. The magic is in the emotion and it will push people to buy. As always, I am praying for your business. If there are any topics that you would love for me to cover or any questions you would love answered, I would be happy to take those suggestions and questions. You can shoot me an email. That email is listed in the show notes. And I will talk with you next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I pray this episode gave you some tactical and practical ideas to implement today in your business. I would absolutely love it if you'd share this show with a friend and take 20 seconds to leave me a review. I'd also love to hear from you. So if you have questions or comments on today's episode, they are absolutely welcome. You can email me at smallbusinesssalesandstrategy@gmail.com. I'm praying for your business. Join me next time.